Hi everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to draw a tennis player. I choose the tennis player because as you see in the pictures, the gestures have lots of movement in it. And today we are going to practice how to show the movement. So in this session you will learn about the proportions in human body. You will learn how to draw a gesture using the baselines and how to add the movement. This is the figure that we want to work on. As you see in the picture, the lady is leaning to one side. I want you to notice the line between her shoulders and the hip line. These two lines play a very important role in showing the movement in our body. For example, if you stand straight, you will see the line between your shoulders and your hip line are two parallel lines, but as you move, they make an angle. If I want to show the movement in the body of our tennis player with only one line, that might be this line. Here I tried to draw the gesture with very simple lines. You can see the shoulder line, the hip line, and the line between the knees. And still you can see the movement in the body. So these are the lines that I want you to notice when you are looking at the picture. I draw it with a marker so you can see it better. But when you start drawing, please just use your pencil. Start with drawing the main lines, like the shoulder line and the hip line and the head. Then you can add the arms and the legs by just using maybe two simple lines. Just show where the knees are and where the elbows are. For the hands, you can just use a triangle shape or a circle. For the feet, maybe just use a triangle shape for now. We will add the details later. Before adding any more details, we want to make sure our proportions are right. The size of the head compared to the body, the size of the upper body compared to the legs. Check all those proportions. If the proportions are right, now you can go ahead and add the muscles. In this picture, I show you how to add the muscles using very basic shapes like a cylinder shape or a cone shape. Again, I use the markers so you can see it better, but you can just use your pencil. When you are drawing the muscles, I want you to notice the negative space. The negative space is the area surrounding our main object. In this case, the area around our figure. So I try to show some of those important negative spaces in this picture with the red color. Look at the triangle shape between the arm and the body. The angle that the upper arm makes with the lower arm. Look at the shape between the head and the shoulder, or the negative space shape between the legs. Can you find all those areas in the picture? Let's go back to our pencil drawing. Now that I finished drawing the whole figure using the basic shapes, I want to start adding more details to it. You can add more curves to the muscles, you can add the clothes. At this stage, you can decide if you want the player to be a man or a woman. You can add the features of the face. You can work on the hands, add the fingers, work on the shoes. You can add some accessories like the hat if you want to add some design on the shirt. You can draw the tennis racket with more details. Here you can see how to add more details to the hands. In the left hand, you can see the lower arm is much shorter than the other hand. That's because of the perspective. I added more details to the face. Pay attention to the location of the feet. As the right foot is more to the back, we should place it higher in our picture. So make sure they are in the right spot. Now you can move on to drawing more details in the background. I decided to show the corner of the tennis court and then add some people in the background. Usually when there's an important tennis game going on, we see some banners with advertisement on it around the tennis court. So if you want, you can add some of those advertisements on the background. Now it's time to trace your lines with the Sharpie. So if you have two different thicknesses of Sharpie or black pen, you can use two different thickness. You can use the thinner one to add the features of the face, the details, and the thick one to trace the outlines. To color your picture, you can either use markers or crayons, even pencil crayons works. If you have both at home, I would suggest to use the markers for the things that are closer to you, and then use the crayons which are lighter for the background. Here in this picture, I use the crayon to color the skin. I use the skin tone and then use some brown for shading. I use the marker to color the ball and the tennis racket and the billboards in the background. You can also use the crayons to color the ground because that's a big surface and it might take longer time to color it with the markers. My suggestion for you is to first color the details. Always start with coloring little things and then color the big surfaces. This way you won't be worried about covering those little details. Good luck, everyone. I would like to also include some samples of my students' artworks here at the end for you. Good luck and see you next week.